Thanks for joining, guys. I'm going to start. Let's go through MGAI. What is MGAI? Message Game AI is an AI bot helping you message women in order to get the date without the bullshit. MGAI is the AI wingman for online dating. Origins of MGAI. In 2018, Message Game Guide, MGG, a simple Google Docs file sharing Tinder message analysis, was created and shared vastly through word of mouth. 2 years later, in 2020, The Message Game, a book inspired by Message Game Guide, and going into much more detail, was released. It became a bestseller and one of the best and most practical online dating books of all time. Fast forward to now, 2023, MGAI was conceived by multiple readers and fans of the Message Game and presented to the author, which is me, and then it started to become a reality for its development. Here are some very quick fire reviews about the book, which has led up to this moment. This guy went from one date in 2022 to 5 dates a week after reading the book. This guy was getting in quarantine during the pandemic, 2 to 3 dates a week. This guy had 7 dates within 6 days. This guy went to having 3 dates with 3 different ladies in about 10 days after reading the book. Let's talk about Chat-GPT. Chat-GPT is not built for online dating. We did some research. Some of you guys here would have participated in that. And the feedback from those who have used Chat-GPT in the context of online dating was very negative. The vast majority had something bad to say about Chat-GPT being used for messaging, for anything to do with online dating. Only 7% of guys found Chat-GPT somewhat useful. The words that came up the most of those who participated are the words in red. Chat-GPT was vague, it gave generic advice, it was limited, it was censored, too polite, politically correct, it gave boring replies, it was very unrealistic, and in the end, it doesn't get responses. So here's what we should be aiming for instead with MGAI, which is right on target because this is what the book has always been aiming for in the first place. Specific, coordinated advice, unlimited, so you can use it in so many situations and as much as you want, uncensored, objective instead of being too nice. One user said, too nicey is the personality of Chat-GPT. This will not be the case for us. And also an important thing, uninfluenced by the media. It's not trying to make journalists happy. It's here to get results. Smart replies, realistic, and actually gets results. We found that in terms of data, there were some disadvantages of other AI solutions, such as Chat-GPT. Other AI solutions are often created by Silicon Valley employees, we can call them nerds, without any expertise in dating or digital communication in an online dating context. Other AI solutions give generic advice, are limited, and are restricted to the standards of Silicon Valley. And other AI solutions just give bad advice. Now let's start talking about MGAI in a lot more detail. Advantages of MGAI in terms of data. MGAI uses data that has been tried and tested manually by thousands of men, including some of you guys, collected over a period of more than 5 years. It understands that the goal is to actually get a date. It understands that You are a heterosexual man wanting to get a date without the bullshit. So therefore, it sifts out the bullshit advice and the unhelpful data using only data that comes specifically from heterosexual men with the teachings of the message game as guidance, the help from the book. Data is extracted from highly targeted data sources instead of being plagued by Reddit advice and generic blog content scattered across the internet and then censored to fit the direction of Silicon Valley. Community. Another advantage of MGAI. MGAI includes a community built exclusively for MGAI users. It includes monthly webinars to help improve your Tinder photos and bio, and the webinars will be recorded and accessible to the MGAI community. And this community is also permanent. Even though MGAI is supposed to be a subscription, everyone who ever joins will be able to stay permanently. Corrections. Now here's a very interesting one. MGAI will involve the human aspect of a feedback loop. You will be able to submit bad responses to a section of the MGAI community, which will then be collected, manually analyzed by the team, and fed back into the AI to improve and train MGAI even further on a regular basis. The team also has access to a dashboard which enables the team to manually review the interactions any user has ever had with the chatbot. This will help MGAI improve gradually over time with the help of human experts. Here's a little teaser. So the part of it is blurred out, but this was one of the funny things that one of the team members tried to ask. She says, "My face is too small." The actual image we're looking at is from the dashboard. So this is what I would be able to see. I'll be able to see every single interaction you guys ever send so that I can go through it. And if there's anything that is even a little bit inaccurate, I can flag that up. The developers will get on that. And I will provide the developers with exactly what to do and more guidelines so that we get 1% more accurate every time. Priorities. MGAI is interested in certain objective, and that is enabling you to meet the woman you're talking to. It is guided by the following principles from the message game, the book. Skip the bullshit, lead, and meet. It's not interested in flirting, and it's not an AI for entertainment. It is designed specifically to guide your messaging interactions towards meeting because that's what actually matters. Now, user implementation. We asked hundreds of you how you would use MGAI. The CEO of Novo AI who partnered with us to make this happen, had a hypothesis that most people would want to use the AI chatbot in order to get a response and then take that response and not just throw it into the conversation, but to actually craft it in your own way because everyone's different. So we put that to the test. And 68% of you guys said that that's exactly what you would do. And 22% just wanted to take what is said and just throw it in the conversation. 9% aren't sure yet. Let's talk about Tinder just for a moment. So Tinder has a huge problem, just like other dating apps. 65% of the active Tinder users, or the entire user base too, consists of men, and 35% consists of women. So this creates a huge imbalance. It's effectively 2 men for every woman, and there's therefore a lot of competition out there. And we are trying to solve that through MGAI, but this is not just for Tinder, this is for everything. No other AI offer out there will do what we do. we are offering you some very interesting bonuses. First of all, you will receive, for signing up to MGAI, a paperback copy of the book, The Message Game. It will be shipped to you wherever you may be, as long as it's not in the middle of the ocean, and you'll be able to get the book for yourself as a bonus. On top of that, we will give you access to the latest versions of the Tinder profile checklist, so you always know what exactly you need to do to improve your profile. You'll also be given lifetime access to the exclusive MGAI community. You'll also have access to live monthly Tinder review and Instagram review webinars. Now, I am ahead of time a little bit, so looks like we have a question. Ivan, you want to put your microphone on?
Yeah, guys, how's everything? First of all, thank you, guys. That sounds interesting. Probably the guys will be in. So, question just regarding the last sentence that we will get a bonus as book as a bonus and all other perks. And this is applicable if you apply for the first months, right? So you're receiving bonus just if you applying for the first months, as I understand correctly.
These bonuses are forever. So if you sign up today, if you sign up next month, if you sign up next year, these bonuses are going to stay. If there are any other bonuses added in the future, then everyone gets them. So if you're an original user, you'll get the same bonuses that anyone else would ever get. So our previous version of this is effectively Message Game Wingman, which is a non-AI version. So Message Game Wingman started last year, and it was basically just people submit screenshots, and I look at them myself, and I reply within a few hours maximum with my personal expertise. This is pretty much the same idea, but AI does it instead. And that AI is modeled after me and my book and the data we're using. And one of the things we had as a bonus for Message Game Wingman was the book, but not from the start. So every single person who was still part of Message Game Wingman, after a few months when we finally introduced the book, got the book. It wasn't just for new users. So we're never going to bring anything new without giving that to everyone who was part of it originally that's still part of it. All right. Does that answer your...
Perfect, thank you.
Yep, okay, no worries. Yep. Augustus.
I had a membership question. So I take it that this entire AI is a subscription per month, correct? Right?
Yes.
And with that said, though, is you mentioned there is lifetime access to the Message Game AI community, right? So if at any point we decide we need to briefly unsubscribe from using the AI, we'll still be part of the community, right?
Yeah, you will never be kicked out from the community for unsubscribing. You're there permanently unless you break rules or something like that.
And then it looks like too that the current message game program you have going on is going to be converted to Message Game AI Community. Is that right? Or are they still going to be two separate programs?
For now, they're going to be separated, but we're still considering how that's going to work. I think I'm going to give it 6 months to possibly phase out Message Game Wingman. Because it does similar things. It's the same kind of idea, basically. But MGAI makes this much more accessible. It makes effectively what Message Game Wingman did 24/7 on demand, because I have to sleep, but MGAI never sleeps.
Okay, thank you, guys.
No worries. All right, are you guys ready? I'm not going to ask you to unmute yourselves. Just like wave your hands or something. The MGAI beta is officially open. You can go on Telegram to MessageGameAIBot. There is a free trial. So every single one of you can go on Telegram right now. Those of you who signed up would have received an email with a special code and a link straight to it. But you can search this in. It's going to pop up on the Telegram groups in the next 20 minutes anyway. And yeah, if you want to try it out, it's free for a limited time. Not a limited time, but limited use. So you can check how it is. But since it's in beta, it's not perfect. Nothing ever is perfect, but in time, due to what I mentioned earlier, the dashboard, for example, allows us to constantly improve what's going on. So give it a shot and let's go.
I'm curious about Jason's question in the chat. How do you feel about the potential media backlash of the thing?
I don't care. I actually talked to a few people today in the last few days. I had a lot of conversations recently in person. I used to work in technology, so having come from the technology industry, talking to technology people, nobody has a problem with it there. But in general networking environments, there have been some questions about how ethical this is. And I answered this. We got mentioned in an article today, a few hours ago. And I argued that it can be a good thing if done right, because the way we're doing it is we're focusing on meeting. And if we can allow more people to meet. So the argument was actually that a lot of people are worried that this ruins genuine conversations, genuine connections. However, my argument was that it can enable people to actually meet. And how society has been in the last few years with Instagram, lots of attention span difficulties, society has got to a very difficult point, especially in its communication and actually meeting people. So, for example, Tokyo and London are two of the most lonely cities in the world. And they are two cities that are also very technologically advanced. So if we can help people actually meet and enhance that, then that kind of undermines all the arguments that it is not genuine, that it doesn't form connections. If we can get people to meet, then that's what really matters.